Hey everybody! Welcome back with me to another beautiful day in Switzerland, where we'll be going to the Lindt chocolate factory, the home of chocolate. And inside, we'll get to see so many different types of chocolate and the machinery. Here we are in the main hall of the factory, and behind me you can see the world's largest chocolate fountain. Machine and connect it to the language that you want to use. I'm going to be using English to help me around the tour. Now, we'll be looking into the journey of seeing how chocolate is formed, all the way from when it was back in the tree. Right here, what you see in front of you is a cocoa tree. You can see all the flowers and the structure of the tree, as well as its fruits, both ripe and dry, before they're used for making chocolate. Here's a little more information from the board which you could read. Those fruits you see there are called cocoa pods. That is where you get your chocolate from. Here's a little more information about the cocoa pods. And this is what a cocoa pod looks on the inside of its fruit. Now let's take a trip to the next point. Here we can see an array of more cocoa beans, as well as them being laid out to dry. Here's another look of a cocoa pod, and here are the roots of its trees, as well as more of the ripe and fresher pods. This is a tree cut in half, and the cool fact here is that they don't have rings. That means that you won't be able to tell the age of a cocoa tree. Here are more of their pods, and this is the insides being taken out, getting ready to be used in the making of delicious chocolate. Here you can see a tool and a bowl of cocoa beans used by a person in this picture to make chocolate. Here you can see an actual animation from the factory itself of a person picking those cocoa pods, putting them into a basket, and getting ready to use them for later. Here was a really fun game I played of the tiny seeds and the beans inside the cocoa pod being crushed. They used a tool just like this to crush those cocoa pods. As you can see in the picture, I have tried my best, as the people back then, the Mayans did, to crush these cocoa pods to make the powder to prepare for making chocolate. In front of me is the pile of the beans. One thing I loved about this factory was there were signs everywhere to tell us more about the journey of chocolate. And here, we start learning about the history of chocolate. Make sure you read on throughout my journey. In the image that you'll see right now, you'll see one of the most revolutionary chocolate makers who had totally changed the evolution of creating chocolate and selling it to public.
Your body's beat by the window seat. Little eyes look high up into blues and stars. I wanna surrender to those cosmic skies, whispering spells about what it means to be wise. There's glittering whites and shooting comets, milky bands that speak golden solids, intergalactic Janet from another planet.
Here with me right now, we can see some beautiful different tools that they used while they were dining. Take a look. Here we see the Spanish coming to meet with the Native Americans, and the Native Americans offer them cocoa pods. The Spanish... Now what we will see are two young entrepreneurs in making chocolate. As we all know, the all-time famous Nestle, whose company is prominently known for the delicious Kit Kat, and another person start their own chocolate making together. Here is a nice diagram of their machine explaining how it worked as well. And here we have another chocolate pioneer and his own recipe machine. What you see here are the different molds from way back when, as well as the different wrappage and covering. Beautiful wrapping over time. Now we're looking at the process of the chocolate turning into beautiful liquid paste, making it edible and scrumptious for all of us to eat.
You can get your own spoon here as well as your napkin, and you just pull to get out the chocolate, and you can taste as much as you like.
Here you can see the truffles and the squares being made. Here is how Lindt makes their chocolate bars and squares. Here you can see all the different flavors that Lindt might use for their chocolate squares. This is also the place where you'll get to make a guess on what type of chocolate bar you get. There are a lot of different flavors, including fruit flavors and spice and coffee flavors. This is the globe in which you can scroll over the world. Right now, I'm at the southern hemisphere, but there's another globe next to me with the northern hemisphere. You can scroll and see what type of chocolate is in which country. And here's a map which you can scroll over time to see what chocolate company was in what region of Switzerland during what time of the year. This is the globe of the northern hemisphere. I found out that there were a lot more companies here. and here you'll find real pictures of people making chocolate from the cocoa pods. This is one of the most well-known rooms and one of the most anticipated rooms, where you'll get to walk through and choose your own chocolate. Here in this room, they'll have multiple varieties of the Lindt chocolates. You'll get to pick as many as you want and eat them all for free. My personal favorites were the strawberry and white chocolate.
On the room to my left, I came from an amazing room where there were so many samples of chocolate. And I ate so many, I think I've already finished my lunch. But that room is amazing. And in the room before that, there's the Cosmo room, where you can learn about the history of chocolate and all of the factories it has all around the world. The room before that, you get a sample with a spoon a variety of dark, milk, and white chocolate. Now we're here at the Innovation Lab.
Here's a fun little game. Make sure you keep your ticket up end because you get to use it for this. You'll just have to scan the QR code and then you'll get to see a fun simulation of this ball going through around the maze. At the end, you'll get your own Lindt chocolate square. And this is one of the last rooms of our tour. Well, we'll get to see Lindt and their machinery in making their chocolate. Of course, we won't know their actual recipe, but if you're lucky, you'll also get to see the people making it. And this is the last look of the chocolate fountain.